Welcome to part 3 of the Daggerfall Unity Permadeath series. I am Jehuti, and we will jump right into the game because we have quite a few things that we have ahead of us today. Between sessions, I realized that there is no need for us to take the typical murder hobo route. There are actually 3 guilds which we can join that would be reasonable choices for us. One is the Order of RK, and I looked it up on the UASP, and it is just our luck that RK is the patron temple of the region of Shalgora, and since we are in Shalgora, that is something that we can take advantage of. It has skills that would be perfect for us. In fact, I can bring this up here on the overlay if I don't do this wrong, which would show us that we have medical, well, not medical so much, but restoration and shortblade are both qualifying skills to get into the Temple of RK. Is this going to be a Temple of RK? Let's see. Yes, Order of RK. So our luck here would be that we would be entering into the temple, and yes, we are capable of being a member. The reason I didn't think of this earlier is because I usually go the typical route of fighters, knight, mages, and so on. One of the things that we will be doing is that we will be joining the Mages Guild, and I think that will be important so that we can capitalize on illusion spells and so on. However, for now, we will be joining the Order of RK. So yes, the Order of RK will place us as a novice, and we will want to do a few quests so that we can raise our reputation with them. As you can tell, the Order of RK has a couple of very, very useful benefits. One of them being that we will be able to buy potions from them within short order. But more importantly, we have training available to us. And that means that we can train Shortblade, which will allow us to actually become combat ready within a reasonable degree of time. We will no longer have to practice against animals and so on. And unfortunately, it will cost us quite a bit more money than we expect because we are using a training overhaul mod. So this will cost us, rather than the usual 200 based on my level, this will take 561. Nevertheless, I think that is money well spent, so we will give that a try. And we will continue on having taken that training. Other than that, the temple may give us some opportunities. Yes, and we also get free healing, and also reduced cost for curing disease within the temple. So those are 2 major benefits that I think will certainly help us out. Let's see what we're going to do is that we're going to have a rule for guild quests, which is that we will select up to 3 quests in a single day. It does not matter from what guild, it will be from any of the 3 guilds that I could possibly join. However, I only get 3 chances at accepting a quest in a single day. And if I reject all 3 of those quests, then I will not have a quest for that day and I'll have to wait until another day. So here's the first quest. Okay, we need somebody to pick up a donation in Raham End and bring it over to us, which is 3 days travel to the northwest. This sounds pretty reasonable. I don't foresee much danger in it. I will warn you to return here quickly. A few of our couriers over the years have told tales of armed assault once the money is in their hands, so one of the things you'll recognize about this character is that he has a phobia for humanoids, which means that he does less damage and less accuracy against humanoid enemies. That is indeed a significant problem for us. Give him this code phrase Clover, and we need the money here in 11 days. The donor, Anistir Kingford, is in the Toad and Wolf. Okay, well, the important point is that we don't need to fight these enemies. We can flee from them. We want to grab some food before we leave today. Right now it's the afternoon, so we actually may want to. How far is the next settlement over? And more importantly, where is Raham End? Let's zoom out on that. Way to the north, up by where we were yesterday. So it doesn't actually look that bad. We would just go up here to Warmont, Lion and Jug Inn, and then, yeah, Raham End. Okay. Looks reasonable, so we will continue on to Warmont for today. We'll grab some food. Actually, we should be eating some of the food that we already have. We will use the apple and the cooked fish. Uh-oh, was that moldy? Yes, I think I just made a big mistake, so let's get in here and see if we can cure disease. Oh, good, good. Sometimes if you eat moldy or whatever fish, then you can obtain a disease from it. I actually nearly lost a character last time because of that. I'm not saying last time as in terms of recording, but yes, I did have a character who I had given some moldy bread to, and that did indeed cause stomach rot. So, since we don't really have... too full. Anyway, I guess we ate a lot of that moldy cooked fish. Nevertheless, we will begin on our journey because we can make some good progress heading northward on our journey. That will lead us, yes, northward. Okay. So before we get out on the road, we will lay down our quick save and see what the wild brings us. So the rule that I was explaining previously is that we're going to have 3 possibilities of accepting a quest in a day, and if I reject all 3 of those offers, then I will have to wait until the next day to pick up any quest of any kind. So that could be like 1 in the Mages Guild, 2 in the Temple, or whatever. Yes, we will rest here for today, and I don't remember what quality this inn was at, so we'll have to see how much a room here will cost us. Screaming Sword is over here. I do intend to join the Mages Guild, and the other guild that we could possibly join is the Thieves Guild, which is not likely to be very high risk. I just need to find 24... You know what? Since we have a bit of time, we're going to look at the other taverns and see if they're any cheaper. A little bit of penny pinching, but it could save us a bit of trouble as we go around, especially if we continue to use this little neighborhood community. What would you call that? The bedroom community, yes. Our good man here will tell us 46. No way. Okay. Then let's try across here and see if 24 is indeed the best offer in town. Our good Uthric will give us 37. Not a chance. Okay, yes, we will be staying in the other place. And then we'll get a good start on heading northward for that donation tomorrow. So yes, I could be joining the Thieves Guild with this character, who I think would also train me for Shortblade. It's been ages since I've done a Thieves Guild character. Yes, okay. And we will rest for 14 hours. And it's been a long time since I've done a Thieves Guild character, so I can't possibly say what that would be. Okay, Shortblade has increased. We will grab some food and we will make like a tree and get out of here. Okay. Ignore temples, ignore this and that. It's going to be a long ways until the Lion and Jug Inn, which might be where we end up staying for the night. But food is getting a bit ripe. What would that be? Yes, a lot of this meat that we're holding on to. Moldy, moldy, moldy. Yes. One of the things that I forgot to mention last time is that the bandage that you see that I bought in my inventory, that is actually, its use comes from the mod Roleplay Realism. Normally bandages are effectively useless. However, using Roleplay Realism, that allows us to use bandages to heal a part of our health based on our medical skill. Let me do a quick save. And that can be extremely useful in combat, especially if you're a non-magical character, but pretty much any, because bandages are very, very cheap, very useful. And it actually does heal quite a bit more than you might expect. Okay, we're at a junction. Yes, we'll keep going northwest. So yes, the Thieves Guild is definitely on the radar. I do want to join them. The only question is where I'm going to commit. Okay, here we have an encounter. Who's it going to be? Centaur. Okay, yeah, we've handled these. Fight the Centaur. Yes, okay. Not a hard enemy at this point, and we'll see. Hey, has some bread. And how is the almost new compared to worn? No, we're not going to use those. Leather helm. We will grab the leather helm. And we'll grab the steel warhammer. Not much else. Well, there's no reason for us to skimp out at this point on our encumbrance, because we are not... Oh, hold on. Indeed, we are quite heavy. So yeah, we'll be dropping... We'll drop off this meat. I mean, we're not overburdened. Okay. Yeah, because we were not going to cook that in any case. There was no real reason to do so. So, once we reach the next rank in Arcade, we will be able to buy potions, which will be tremendously useful. Very, very important. My last character, in Permadeath, I lost to poison. A 1,000 round poison that I had contracted in a dungeon. And I didn't have restoration or anything like that, so as you can imagine, that character had absolutely no chance. We will grab some food while we're stopping in here, but we're making excellent progress today, which means that we should make it to the other settlement, Raham End, by nighttime. I used that well to refill my water as I was going in. That doesn't really matter, because you can buy you'll receive water from virtually any friendly person that you find. Peacock pie. We'll grab that. And continue along our way. So we continue heading direction westward. And it looks like we will be making it to our goal, at least by nighttime. Forgot to do a quick save. Now, one of the things that I've never actually done, like I've mentioned before, I have never done a pickpocketing character. And pickpocketing we actually have the mechanic for pickpocketing defined in Daggerfall Unity. Well, I have the chance, I'm going to show what those are. For pickpocketing, the relevant formula basically puts you at 100 pickpocketing to begin with, and then, it starts at a chance of 100 of you getting caught, and then it goes minus your pickpocketing skill, plus store level, plus total weight of the items, and plus the number of items. One of the things that you'll notice there that is quite conspicuous is that the value of the items does not matter. That might seem a little obvious, but when you think about it, that actually opens up some major opportunities. For example, if you find, say, a holy dagger or a ring or something like that, maybe, I don't know, if you find something like an ebony dagger or something like that inside a store, those things can be very useful and they're extremely lightweight. So they would contribute virtually nothing to the matter of pickpocketing, the success formula. So, oh no, I know what this is. This is an escaped Atronach feeding off of the sun's rays. It has lost control and is attacking townspeople. I know what this is. This can help you gain legal reputation if you attack it. The problem is we're not strong enough, and also the town guard is not going to be able to help in this case either. So I'm going to reject that. So this is just the narrative. The town guard hurried to strike the creature down, the townspeople resume. If I had attempted that, it would have spawned a real Atronach, which would have tried to attack me. And by so doing, I would have really opened myself up to some danger. I did mention, where is the next settlement? 2 hours. No, we're not going to make it in time. So we're going to rest here, because we can always rest on the way back. We do have an Order of Arcade here to help us in case things get troublesome. However, we'll be staying in one of these. The room here, 46. The room values do not change, so no matter whether you come here now or in 10 years or whatever, it'll always be the same price of a room. It's just that I myself... Okay, I thought she had a quest. Typically when you see a woman like her, she's a quest giver. Okay, 15. we will... First, I'm going to check if anybody around here has any quests to give. Children cannot give quests, so I'm not even going to bother with that fellow. Looks like we have no quest givers here, so we will turn in for the night. If I arrive at a walled city, then the gates are going to be closed, and like you saw in the first episode, that's just asking for problems, trying to deal with that. So, medical skill has improved. We will grab ourselves some food. Grab the leftovers. In fact, let's try eating some more leftovers, just in case that benefits us in any way. Okay, it was only 1 gold, so it was worth trying. And we're headed northwest on this next leg of our journey. Or is that sufficient? Yes, that is indeed to the west. Okay. So I am thinking that to gain some more income for our trading for a short blade, we will want to start pickpocketing some things. I don't really want to ruin reputation in Shalgora very much. That's something that I would prefer to head maybe eastward into a different region. You know, hop over the frontier lines a few times. Try getting into a small settlement like one of these around here-ish. Or maybe to the southwest, hard to say. But it would be nice to not ruin my reputation in Shalgora. You know, like a place like that. That would just be amazing. We're headed to the northeast now, so... Yes, northeast. As I was looking over the recording from last time, I did notice that my microphone has a visible delay of appearing on the stream. That is the voice recording and so on. Of maybe about 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds. So I do apologize for that. I honestly have no idea how to get rid of that, but as long as people can suffer through that with me, then I think it should be okay. We're at Raham End, and we need to find somebody in the Toad and Wolf. If the people around here are friendly, then we can see if they cannot help us with this. Northwest. A friendly Breton. That's nice of him. Yeah, at the very far corner of the town, but the important part is that we have indeed found it. So we're going to do the fast traveling this way. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay. Did we? Yes, we just passed it. Okay, so this little guy, as you see right here, is the airship. Sells, well, he is a salesperson, but he also sells tickets to airships. So, as necessary, we can talk to him and he will give us a ride on an airship to any destination that we're looking for. It is quite expensive, so that's not something we're going to be able to do, but that option is there as needed. Clover, very good. I've enclosed the donation in this bag. Send my regards to Alabaster Mastersley. We've been friends for several years. So, we have the donation bag. Something that we could do is that we could try opening up the donation bag and stealing from it to earn ourselves some money. I personally value the reputation bonus of this quest more. Another limitation that I want to put on myself is to not spam the same quest over and over. So we cannot do the same quest consecutive times. That is at least a limitation that I want to put on myself. And yes, we're headed southward now. How are we on hunger? Not hungry. That'll be fine. So in other words, the old Daggerfall way of, say, guarding the esteemed mage multiple times so you rack up... Wait, we're going west. That's not good. So you rack up multiple magical items and things like that. I don't want to do that. So instead, we will be trying a variety of quests. South. Okay, here we go. Do the quick save, and here we go. Successfully avoided an encounter. That's very, that's a bit surprising, but then again, stealth is one of our minor skills, so sooner or later that was bound to happen. It makes me wonder what the formula is for that, but since it is a modded capability, that's not something that I immediately know. I wonder if Hazelnut or somebody else would know about that. Presumably so. Okay, we will go southeast. One of the problems is that I don't think that this quest is going to pay us very much. It'll really only pay us enough to probably pay for our travel expenses. So this one is not going to be a major winner for us, but at the very least it will give us opportunity to level up a few of our skills. Longmoth Moor. I will grab some food here because we'll probably be staying in the Lion and Jug Inn. Yeah, since it's not a walled... Actually, we can forego the food this time. No real need for it because we're not going to run out of fatigue anytime soon. Okay, that'll give us a chance to practice our restoration. I really should be doing that a lot more often, but I guess I'm just not in the power gamer frame of mind as I'm going about this. So, we are headed towards... We should be coming up on the city just, I imagine, just after nighttime-ish. And that's just fine because we're close enough that we can make it on manual travel anyway, just in case a monster shows up or anything. But I don't think that'll happen. It looks like we are clear to arrive at the settlement. So we'll be staying here for the night. Yes, as I mentioned before, water comes freely from virtually any friendly NPC that you talk to. I'm not sure what the mechanics are for that. 39. But as you can see, running out of water is generally only a real danger if you're out journeying in the wilderness for a very long time, if you're stuck in a dungeon for multiple days and so on. 13. This guy's a fellow. Okay. We'll rest for, what would that be, 13 hours, I believe. And just for fun, we'll see if anybody here in the tavern has any quest for us. She does not have a quest. She is looking for something else. Where is the exit to this place? You never know everything about Daggerfall, that much is true. Any quest? Well, this is funny. I am skilled in Shoreblade, but I'm not good enough to handle a difficulty medium test, so no, I'm definitely not going in on that one. Okay, this one is not. I am in need of an escort. I have taken an illness no one can cure. No, I'm not doing that one. Definitely not. You must travel on your own, and I am sorry. Wait, we want some food before we go. Can't forget about the food. Always important to have the food. Especially when leftovers are this cheap. Reminds me of leftovers in Pokemon, but that's an entirely different universe and an entirely different story. Okay, we are headed southeast, which is this way. You know, something I should really... Well, we'll try to remember that for next time. In any case, a bit of shopping around for the best price. It doesn't hurt anyone. We'll continue on our journey. Okay, failed to avoid an encounter. We're close enough to the town that if we run back... Who is it? Oh, it's gotta be an imp. Yes. You know what? We'll run back to town because we're really close to it. And then we'll allow the town guard to dispose of this guy because a fireball can do a lot of damage to us. So we're sprinting back to town, and with any luck we will be able to catch the help of the town guard in eliminating this imp. We'll leave Jeffrey here and see if this imp does not follow us closer. If you guys can see it, you can see better than I can, because I cannot see this imp right now. Maybe I don't think it disappeared when we changed zones. At least I don't think that it would. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Okay, so we're going to awkwardly trot backwards for a while. See if Yeah, I guess by running too far, I suppose we disabled its AI and it decided not to keep chasing us. So, if the town guard are willing to help us, that will be a big benefit to us at this time. Hear villagers panic in the distance. This is Villager Reactions by Kamer. Town guard? Any town guard? Are there any town guards that are going to help us out? Yes, here's the town guard. Let's hope that he's strong enough. Kamer did mention that there is currently a bug on this mod, which makes it that the town guards are sometimes not properly equipped. For example, when I mentioned last time that they were not going to be able to help me with the Atronach, last time I had that event, I saw 14 town guard die to a single Atronach, and even then, they hadn't even hit the Atronach once. So at the same time, I gave them a shot with that imp, but they were clearly not going to be able to beat it. So we will continue along our way, heading southeast back toward East Tower Hollow. And I can't imagine that it's going to be a very lucrative enterprise, but that's what we get for doing a very low-level job. The important part is that we gain some reputation with the temple, and with any luck we will be increasing in rank within a reasonable amount of time. It shouldn't take very long. I do find that change of climate there kind of funny, but that's one of the things that you get with a world as big as Daggerfall's. You just you really can't control for everything. So it does the best that it can. It's a good enough climate map as it is. Stomach rumbles, but we are nearly to East Tower Hollow by now, and as the time, yeah, we're making good time. So that will be the first quest that we complete for the Order of Arcade. Probably pick up another, depending on whether we have anything available to us. Southward, from here, yes. And then 2 quests is enough to give us a rank advancement, but one of the things that we're dealing with here with real-time travel, you'd be amazed how slow it is to spend the 28 days necessary to gain a rank up. So either we would have to stall out the time by some means or another, like traveling in boat or something like that, or just spend time with other guilds during the 28 days and so on. It genuinely is a very, very long time. So the Order of Arcade is actually right here around the corner. Okay, so let's head over to the quest giver, see what, if anything, we will obtain for this venture that we have done. Where was it? Neither the temptation to steal nor to sell Anister Kingford's donation could shake you. Nobody encountered us along the way, but that could have happened. You have a future among us. Take this for your expenses. 42 gold, which I do believe leaves us a little bit in the hole for this venture. I didn't calculate it strictly, but yes, that did not go very well for us. But the important part, like I said, is the reputation. Okay, quest number 1. All must carry their weight in this temple while you take some of our teachings to a potential convert. There is no danger here, so yes, we will travel to the Yimson farmstead. 4 days travel to the northwest. Okay, this is acceptable. There is no enemy in this quest, so all we're doing is that we're delivering... Well, here it says, we do not expect you to preach to her. We instead have this written package you may deliver, which we will consider success on your part. Go there and return within 14 days. Since we are... Let's see... Right, I can't look at the travel map while we're indoors. Instead, what we're doing is... Where is the Yeam Ford? No, that's not it. I'm getting this name wrong. Where is it? Yamston. In the very corner of Shalgora. Of course it is. You can actually see the road deviate just to make room for that place. And I don't think there's going to be a place for me to rest near there either. So yeah, we're going on a bit of a road trip this time. To get there, Looks like the clearest road to me is to go up this way north and then travel along the dirt road until we make it more or less over there. So because we can go to the north, I will be staying in Warmont this time, which will give us a pretty good start for the next day of travel. I can't possibly doubt that the guards are still fighting that imp over there in that town that we left, because they do certainly need weapons, and that's not something that they have right now. Some people would think, you know what, if the imp kills all those guards, you can loot all their... Actually, yes, speaking of that, we have loot to sell. So yes, let's head back into the the pawn shop. Where would that be? Bargain wares, central market. Ah yes, the pawn shop is actually right here. So we're going to sell the little bit that we picked up on this journey before we head out to Warmont. And nothing really worth selling more than that, okay? 177, terrible mercantile, so I'm really doing badly there, but that is more or less an additional payment to what we earned for that last quest, so it certainly does help. And now let's get out of this town. We'll be heading northward toward Warmont. So being so close to the border of a different region gives us the opportunity to try stealing from a settlement that might be nearby, but it doesn't look like there are any. I mean, we'd have to go, either we'd travel in the wilderness over here, which is not very pleasant. We'd have to go over this way, but I think that's something that we'll save for some other day. It would be nice to find out some of these other settlements in places like Illisan Hills and so on that would be further to the north. Arrived at a junction, keep going. So that I could hop over the frontier and hop over the boundaries and start robbing from those places. One of the reasons why I'm so sketchy about, I'm so fearful about getting a very bad reputation in a place is because I do have the death sentence mod installed by Kamer. So if I am a very terrible human being and I become a villain I do apologize that I am going to be looking for this again because I don't have memory enough to retain which of these is the best tavern, so we're going to be shopping around once again. But we're almost there because this guy will be doing it in 24 gold pieces, I believe. So if I get a very bad criminal reputation in a single region, and the guards catch me after that, then I am indeed at risk of simply being executed. And for a character like this, there is no coming back from being executed. He does not have the luxury of reloading his game and calling it a mulligan. Oh, I should have practiced restoration there. Too bad. Like I said, I'm just not thinking about quick skill gains that I could do. I'm not averse to doing that. I'm simply not thinking about them. Bread and cheese. Okay, we will head off to... It'll be over here until the Lion and Jug Inn, and then we'll be crossing over this way. And it looks like we'll be getting into some new territory in Shalgora. As an alternative, I could have taken on the Thieves Guild, because the Thieves Guild have very easy quests. If I did not have either the opportunity or the skills for RK. The Thieves Guild doesn't have a lot of benefits, but again, it is a source of quests, and that was something that we were really lacking. Who is our enemy today? A nymph. We're gonna run away from that. I don't want to deal with a nymph. For some reason, I do have a no nudity mod that is installed, but for some bizarre reason that I'm not aware of, the nymphs that are outdoors are different from the ones that are inside dungeons. So the ones that are inside dungeons are indeed clothed, but the ones that are outside, for some inexplicable reason, are not. I don't know if that's Daggerfall enemy expansion that is affecting who is spawning where, Maybe it's giving a new entity to the nymphs, but in any case, we don't want to fight one of those. They hardly have any loot, and it really doesn't benefit us to fight if we can get away. As you can tell, our fatigue is still absolutely full, so we're doing quite well on that regard. We can sprint away for a while. And just look at this amazing skyline provided by the... oh, we just passed a shrine over there. Provided by Dynamic Skies. Okay, new encounter is a rat. We can fight a rat. The big danger of the rat is that it may indeed give us a disease of some kind, but thankfully we could dodge sufficiently well. That was not an issue. Forgot the quick save. We'll do that. So yes, the mic will have a bit of delay on it, but I do apologize for that. If there were any way to get rid of that, I would, but sadly that's not the case. I have the what's that called? The sync offset at 0 in OBS, so whatever the reason is for that, I could not possibly say. Now, the real danger that we're running into is that, actually, yes, we can... Foes? Who are my... who are my foes? That imp is still here, and yes, I think it's time that we help out trying to kill this thing, because as far as I can tell, it has no magicka, which means that the greatest dangers are done away with. I'm very careful to not hit the town guard, because that would be... Oh dear. I don't think I'm in any danger of hitting the town guard. Okay, good. And Troll's Blood. Not worth very much. I don't... Those things are kind of hard to sell. And good heavens, Jeffrey, what have you gotten yourself into? Alright, let's get you out of there. And... yes, apparently... like I said, they were indeed fighting that imp the entire day and the entire... Wait, we don't want a room. We want a salmon steak supreme. That sounds amazing. Let's see how that does for our fatigue as we go about. And this gives us an opportunity to heal ourselves using some restoration magic. Salve Bruise or Belina's Balm. No, that's much better for higher levels, so we'll... yes. And away we go. Yes. Okay, yeah. We're headed westward. Like I said, they were engaged in a legendary duel for multiple days. It reminds me of Gandalf and the Balrog inside the Mines of Moria. But of course, you probably know that story better than I do. We have a Spriggan. Knowing how the town guard works, I don't want to lead it to the town because it would just murder everybody there. So instead, we will take the burden upon us of losing this creature in the wilderness. I'm going to move the microphone a little bit. There might be a bit of distortion for that, so watch out for your ears. Okay. Yes, we're at a junction now, and we are... looks like we're headed southwest, and then the best route appears to be along the dirt road this way. So, let's... southwest. And if we're... what I'm really hoping is that we'll find some settlements out here that will provide us places to rest, because we do not want to rest outdoors except when necessary. This is called Riphead, okay? No, that's actually a very violent name when you think about it, but I'm sure these people did not think of that when they were naming this settlement. So we have found Riphead, which is a good place for us to stay if necessary. We do have our camping set, which we can use as needed, which would most certainly... I mean, the last thing that we want to do is sleep out on the dirt, because that incurs tremendous penalties. Okay, who is our encounter this time? Imp. We have already proven that we can fight the imp. What we're going to do is that we're going to try to make it... yes, okay. And it's out of magic. So yes, the reason why we wanted it to get its fireballs out is that, yes, those spells are damaging, but they can be avoided. The key is that the shock spell that it carries cannot be avoided, and that's the one that you probably died to in Privateer's Hold. So by draining its magicka ahead of time, that meant that we could take it in melee combat. And it can kill you in melee combat, there's no questioning that. But without the shock spell, it's not nearly the danger. This is a temple community which does not provide any... You know, right here where this point is, there's very likely a tavern of some kind. So I'm going to head down that way and see... Yes, we're headed to the southwest. See which way, see if we can find a community of some kind now that night is indeed falling. And if not, like I said, we do have our camping gear with us that provides us, yes, is southwards. And it looks like this is just a farmstead, which is not a place that would be useful to us. Farmsteads can be distinguished by those windmills, which are added by Kamer. Failed to avoid, I think, another Spriggan. Spriggans, like I said, they have fairly high armor for a character like us, so that's not something that I really want to engage in right now. Great, we are gaining a level in restoration, and that may be very useful for reducing the cost of the spells that we're casting, especially for spelling salts, because we're using that a lot as we travel. Let's see. Okay, we're coming up on Sacred Tree of Archaea again. Oh dear, I made a terrible mistake. So yes, we don't really have a good option here, so what we're going to try to do... You know what? Yeah, I'm going to sleep outside this settlement. Because if I try following the dirt road again, the Spriggan is going to be there, and I really don't want to deal with the Spriggan. If we run too far, then we're going to lose a lot of fatigue. So instead, Jeffrey and I are going to camp out in the wilderness here. And with any luck, we will not be facing a grievous monster as we sleep here for tonight. Enemies nearby, who is it going to be? Oh, we have a level gain. Intellect, strength, speed. I usually do go for speed in these things, but this time we're going to go for intellect because we really do want some more magicka, especially as more important spells become available to us. So we will do that. Who is our enemy today? That's a skeleton. We know. One of the problems that we face with skeletons is that they take half damage from anything that is not a blunt weapon, including, amusingly, even your fists. This is Skeletal Soldier. So this is not the Skeletal Warrior that you met in Privateer's Hold. This is a much easier version that is added by Daggerfall Enemy Expansion. What time is it? Necromancy, okay. Most adventurers know the danger of traveling at night. Okay, rest for 6 hours. Good, so what that did for our camping equipment is that it brought it down to... Wow, it's still at new. So it did take away some of the durability of our camping equipment, but not enough to really matter. So I'm going to do a manual fast travel over this way, trying to avoid that Spriggan if we can. You can just click on the pixel there and begin moving this way. And if we are very lucky, in fact, let's eat that bread while we have a chance before it goes moldy, because that, just like in real life, I have a very real problem with buying food that goes moldy on me. It's a real shame, and it's something that I wish I did not suffer from, but that is the way of these things indeed. So it looks like, okay, failed to avoid encounter. Spriggan again, and it really does make me think this is the same Spriggan. We have plenty of fatigue to get away from this guy, so we will gallop away from our enemy here. And then it looks like that's going to deliver us pretty close to the road that we were looking for to begin with. So with any luck, we'll find the road here on the other side of this monolith-looking thing. That's not the road, is it? Looks like a road, yes. So, are we far away enough from the Spriggan to avoid it now? Okay, good, good, good. One of the mods that we're using here is unlevel loot, which means that I'm not likely... it's easy to assume that as you gain levels, you're going to find Daedric stuff and so on, but that's actually not the case here. Our loot here depends on the luck that we have, so if I had higher luck, then I would be finding much better equipment, but I am not. The other thing that you can do with unleveled loot is go to high-quality stores, which are very likely to have better goods, but again, that makes it harder to pickpocket from. And, okay, we'll be going this way. And it makes their goods cost more as well if we were going to buy them legitimately. So there are those difficulties, but like I said, this is a playthrough where survival comes first, and we will see how well we go about it. We do not want to hunt. Is that a settlement? Yes, it is. Okay, good, because it looks like we could use some food. Rations keep you from starving. We have one tavern here. So when you are the only game in town, you get to set the prices for everybody else. I assume that the peasants all come here to drink their sorrows away after their day of hard work. Artisanal pastries, that is what we will be eating today. And that'll help us regenerate our stamina as we are on the way. So good, we have a settlement, a reliable settlement in the west part of the region. We have... Okay, we're headed westward. And what time is it? Still morning. Amazing. Okay. Yes, westward. It looks like that's the way out of town. I really should try fighting one of those Spriggans, but it's one of those cases where it looks like we do have... Okay, I apologize for that. We did have a crash there as we were leaving the settlement, but here we go, picking up our journey once more. There is occasionally an issue. Let's see, what time? Ah, yes. Stomach rumbles. Did we not eat? Yes, invigorated from the last meal. That's strange. Wonder why that message came up for us. Something that I have noticed is that sometimes I do get crashes in the same place, so I'm not sure if there's some asset there that tries to load and does not, or things like that. And unfortunately, I tried looking in the player logs and so on, and it's simply not... It simply does not give us the information that we need. So I really can't figure out a way to debug it properly. And you know the old recommendation that disable all your mods and find out which one it is that is causing you the problem. Okay, Centaur. We can fight Centaurs. But as you can tell, when I'm running like 70 mods-ish, that's a pretty tough order. Oh yeah, our increased capability is definitely showing. A leather cuirass. Okay, good, good. So we have equipment on most parts of our body at this point. I'm gonna grab that steel warhammer. And I think we should be okay. Okay, this is worn, used. I actually don't know which of those is worse, so we're going to stick with worn. You know what? Worn sounds more damaged, so just for the fun of it, we will be switching over and continue along the journey to the west. Not to be confused with the famous novel of that same name. What I'm really hoping is to find some reasonable settlement nearby. Like I said, we cannot rest at a farm home, which is the place that we're actually headed to for this quest. So if we arrive there around nighttime, we'll have to camp out again, and our enemy may not be as easy as a skeletal soldier was. It would be a real shame to find something very high level that would attack us. But Howling Gnome Hostel. Good, good. Okay. If we wanted to travel this way, 3 hours and 44 minutes, still very, very long. So I think the wise thing to do here, keeping in mind our character's mortality, the wise thing that we're going to do here is that we're going to rest here. I know that it does cost us some more money. 13. Not very much money, thankfully. And I do remember this time that we're going to use our spells. And rest for, it would seem, yeah, we can rest for 16 hours. The reason we have to rest that long is because Daggerfall works on a 12-hour and 12-hour schedule. So when it is not day, that is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., then it is indeed night. And that is, when nighttime is when bad things can happen. Food. Breakfast starts at dawn. We just have to wait 15 seconds for them to start serving breakfast. And I'm certain that these folks, who could not possibly have a quest, need to travel to the Woodsmith Farmstead. You know what, we can do that. Since we are headed to the east, my mind is much eased if the sack isn't at the other place. 309 gold. Okay, that's well on our way to grabbing some more training. So, yeah, alright, we can't look at the map right now. No summoning gem. I don't need one. No, I definitely do not know mysticism. I do not know that, unfortunately. It would be useful, especially for long trips like this, but it is not something that I know. So then, coming right out of the kitchen are leftovers. You can tell that they put great effort into their morning breakfast fare. Okay, we will head over to the Yamston Farmstead, and since we're coming up close to an hour now, I think that's where we'll call this session for today, once we arrive at the Yamston Farmstead and receive the delivery. We'll be heading southwest from here. I do like to travel along the road, even though I know that it is not the most, the fastest way of traveling. However, it does cushion us from the fatigue loss that we would suffer if we traveled off the road, and from what I've seen, that's pretty severe. It may be a bit ameliorated by the fact that we are on a horse, but in my opinion, oh good, new settlement. Good. It's good to have this mapped out, because that'll bring us a bit more safe haven as we're traveling along here. Okay, I just saw those red bars and I was thinking, why are people hostile? But no, nobody's hostile to us here. And it should not be long before we end up at the Yamson Farmstead. And we will we will deliver this preaching that we have to do. Again, this is not a quest that is going to give us very much money. This is not a high earner. So the fact that we picked up that bonus quest along the way, that's good. Okay, who is? Another centaur. We are doing our part to greatly reduce the centaur population. And leather greaves, perfect. Yes, we need these. Steel mace, grab that. Red flowers and the rest of these are really not worth anything, so yeah, we will be leaving the rest of these. Are we overburdened? Not overburdened. Good. Continuing along on our way. We do not want out those birds. Stomach rumbles. How close are we? Okay, just a little bit longer. It's going to be at the next junction and then take the left, just like driving on a freeway in real life. Yes, it looks like more things are dying randomly in the wilderness, so hopefully we'll be able to localize what it is that is causing people to randomly die. Sounds like a horror movie. And there is a fog out here, so perfect. Okay, this is about as good as you could possibly ask for a refuge while we're close to the Yamston Farmstead. So we will be delivering our teachings, and you'll notice that cool windmill there, so that is a great addition by Kamer. Religious track to Evelona Copperston, Yamston Farmstead. Being very careful not to gallop around a civilized settlement like this, because if you topple over a human being, then the guards will come after you. Where is this Evelona woman? Not in here. Here she is. Here's that track that they promised. Would you be willing to tell me more about its contents? I'm sure you won't be the last messenger they send me. I'll spend a few days considering this material. Give the regular preachers my regards. So the task ahead of us is to return. We'll get back to Lambgate, just because it'll be nice to continue on from a stable place of beginning once more. And Lambgate is really quite close to this. Very convenient that they would have this set up here. Of course, as you know, the entire Basic Roads project was created just by volunteers who effectively played connect the dots between major settlements in Daggerfall. So this was all done just by people thinking, how will I put this together the best I can? So really quite an amazing piece of work. As for me, this is the end of the third session of the Daggerfall Unity Permadeath series. We'll take a quick look at N10 Nightdale and his skills as they lie now. So yes, we are slowly making it. It's taking us some time, but we will get better, and we will keep training that short blade. Wow, we're advancing in the skill, and it's not actually taking us very long. So we are slowly and gradually becoming combat worthy. So I will end the session here. Thank you for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. We'll add a permanent save here, just to make sure, and we are done.